Yeah, so I said to the consultant, I feel absolutely toxic, and if you don't do something very soon, I am actually going to die. Um, Now, I'd been seeing him every day for 3 weeks, and he was brilliant. And he said to me, Lorraine, we're trying to save your colon. Um, and for that, I was so grateful. Then he came back in and he said, we're going to try a new drug on you. But the thing is, it will either make you really, really well or really, really poorly. So I felt so ill anyway. So I said, yeah, I'll happily, I'll have the drug, whatever it is. And it was called, actually, I can't remember what the name of it was. But the long and short of it was, it done the latter, and it did. It made me very, very poorly and almost killed me. Um, so I then was given the option to go on to have an infusion, infliximab infusion. So I had that again, wasn't responding to it at all. So the next thing I knew, a new consultant came in, a lady, and she said to me, enough messing about. We've just looked at your bloods, your markers are absolutely through the roof, and you are going to have life-saving surgery in the morning. That's unless, of course, you need it a lot sooner. It will be during the night. So I spent the rest of the day miserable, yeah, crying. All I kept thinking was, seriously, I don't want to shit in a bag, and that was that was literally all that was in my head. Yeah, it's quite vain, really, isn't it? Please, I don't want to shit in a bag. Anything else but that. So I literally I cried for the rest of the day. I had the IBD nurses coming in to see me. I couldn't get my words out to them because I was just so tearful. And then something changed that evening, and I was kind of like, "Come on now, pick yourself up. You know, stop feeling sorry for yourself," kind of thing. You've got to get over this. Now, it was only a few nights before that I'd been taken back into intensive care because they thought they were going to lose me. And the weirdest thing was, my life, it almost played out like a flipogram, of pictures that are running through my head. And the nurse that was sat with me, for the 24 hours, she was asking me questions, the day later, and she was like, what's fizzy whacker? And I was like, oh my god, fizzy whacker, that's what I used to call lemonade when I was about 2. She was like, and Dr. and Lee's, and they were neighbours that I used to go across to visit when I was 2 years old. I remember seeing myself walking, holding my mum and dad's hands. I must have been about 18 months or so, walking around the town centre, and we lived in the block of flats above Walco. Now, I didn't have any recollection of the flats whilst we were living there. We've moved several times as a family, but I could actually see all the old shop B jam and, you know, I can't remember. There was an old shoe shop, shoe fair, and all the really, really old shops that used to be there when I was younger. And then then it kind of moved on to the next house that we lived in, and my brother was born in that house in Finch Close. I recall going over to the neighbours and her playing Dancing Queen to me. All the ABBA songs Dot absolutely loved. And then I could recall the layout of a house in Millwards, um, and then Bishop's Rise, and then moving day into Broome Close. It was like so surreal to have all these memories kind of coming back, and it literally was like a flipogram of my life being played out. It was so bizarre. Um, and at that point, I knew that I really, really, really wasn't right. Um, yeah, so I was telling the nurse all about the flipogram kind of movie thing, and she said to me that I kept saying, I was shouting, I wasn't conscious, but I was saying I'm not ready to come yet. So who knows? It literally felt like I'd come pretty close to death at the time. Um, yeah. So anyway, I pulled myself together and I video called my mum and my daughter that evening, and mum was like, "Oh, good God, no!" When I said to her, I'm the option I'm left with is now the bag. So she was like, "Oh, good God, no." Lexi, was brilliant, and she joked about, "Yay, mum, you're now my bag for life." So we did kind of make jokes of the situation as well. You've got to do anything you can to get through the situations, don't you?